All right, welcome. Today, we're going to unlock something that's, frankly, one of the most exciting parts of programming, making our Java applications truly interactive. We're going to teach our programs how to, actually listen.
I mean, think about it. When you're first starting out, most of the programs you write just print stuff to the screen. They talk at you. But what if you want to have a conversation? What if you want the user to type something back? Well, that's exactly the problem we're about to solve. So, the key to making this two-way street happen is learning how to read input directly from the user's keyboard. This is what takes your code from just being a static script to something that feels alive and responsive.
And lucky for us, Java has this fantastic tool built right in to do just that. So I want you to meet your new best friend, the scanner class. Seriously, just think of it as the official set of ears for your program, always ready to hear what the user has to say.
So what is this thing really? Well, the scanner is a class that lives in Java's utility package, java.util. And its entire purpose in life is to read different types of data, like numbers and text, from some kind of input source. For us, that source is system.in, which is just a fancy way of saying the keyboard.
And the best part? Getting it set up is incredibly easy. It's literally just 2 steps. First, way up at the top of your Java file, you pop in this import line. That just tells your program where to find the scanner. Then, inside your main method, you create a new scanner object and tell it to listen to system.in. And boom, that's it. You're ready to go.
All right, so now that our scanner is all set up and listening, we can start capturing all kinds of different input. It doesn't matter if the user types a number, a single word, or a whole sentence, the scanner has a perfect little method ready for each job.
Okay, let's kick things off with whole numbers, or integers. After we ask the user for a number, we call this method nextInt. This line literally tells your program, hey, pause for a second, wait for the user to type a number and hit enter, and then it just grabs that value so we can save it in a variable.
And check this out. Here's what it looks like in action. The program pauses right there, it waits for you to type 10, and then it can use that number for whatever you want. It's successfully listened and remembered what you told it.
Okay, numbers are cool, but what about text? Well, if we just want to read a single word, we've got the next method. It works pretty much the same way as nextInt, but for grabbing a string instead of a number.
C works like a charm for a single word. But here's a super important detail. Next only reads until it hits the first space. So if you typed hello world, it would only grab hello. And that little detail is super important, and it leads us right into our next point.
Okay, this is a big one. This slide right here clears up something that trips up so many new Java programmers. Next basically hits the brakes as soon as it sees a space. But next line? Oh, it keeps on reading everything you type until you physically press the Enter key. That makes it perfect for things like full names, sentences, anything with spaces. So you guessed it, if we want to grab that entire line of text, we just swap in next line of function. The code looks almost exactly the same, but what it does is completely different and way more powerful for capturing text from a user. And would you look at that? There's the proof. By using next line encoding, our program now correctly captures the whole phrase, hello world, spaces and all. We have successfully read an entire sentence from the user. Awesome. All right, so we've got numbers down, we've got text down. Now for the really fun part. Let's put it all together and build a short, simple program that actually has a little conversation with the user. Okay, let's break down this code. First, we ask for the user's name, and we use next line to grab it, because, names can have spaces. Then we ask for their age, and use nextInt to grab that number. See, it's all about using the right tool for the right kind of data. And just look at the result. The program grabs the name Alice and the age 25, and then weaves them together into this personalized greeting. This right here is the magic of interactive programming. The output is custom-made based on what the user gives you. Okay, before we finish up, I want to cover a couple more things. One absolutely essential habit you need to get into, and then a quick look at how the scanner fits into the bigger picture of Java tools. Here it is. This is the golden rule, and you have to remember this. Once you are completely done with your scanner, you should always close it with input.close. This basically tells the system you're done with it and it can free up those resources. It's like hanging up the phone when you're done with a call. It's just good manners, really. Clean up after yourself.
Now, Scanner is going to be your best friend for most simple console stuff, but it's really good to know that it's not the only tool in the box. Need crazy fast performance for reading thousands of lines? You've got Buffered Reader. Need to type a password without it showing up on screen? There's a console class for that. So Scanner is the best place to start for sure, but there's a whole toolbox out there.
All right, let's boil all this down to the absolute must-knows. To get user input, you've got to import java.util.scanner. You create a new scanner object that listens to system.in. You use nextInt for numbers, next for single words, and the powerful next line for sentences. And finally, you always close the scanner when you're done.
So there you have it. You now have this foundational skill to build calculators, text-based adventure games, simple login systems, anything that needs to talk with a user, not just at them. The possibilities are really endless. So my question to you is, now that your program has ears, what amazing things are you going to build with it?